So in the last video, we talked about ideal professions to have in your preparedness group. But in this video, we're going to talk about ourselves. What types of skills and professions can we bring to the table? Your current profession and the skills associated with it may transfer over well in a preparedness group, but not everyone is going to be in the same boat. Like the example that I gave in the last video, you may be an office worker, or you could be someone that manages a convenience store. Some of those can be indirectly used. Management skills, leadership skills, those can be used. So not all is lost in most situations. But if all you do, for example, is in a cubicle, and I'm not putting people down, I'm just saying that, I even did this for a period of time. That when you work in a cubicle and all you do is answer phones or you enter data into a computer, your skill set, if that's all you know, is going to be very limited and may not be helpful to the entirety of the group that you're in. And so this is something to look into further. For those who are plumbers, carpenters, electricians, and so forth, that has a very useful skill, you're pretty much good to go. Of course, you can never really learn too much. So I'd still go ahead and learn a second or third skill in case your plumbing or electrical or carpentry skills are not needed at the time when you come together to overcome whatever challenge that may be present. For those who do not have a trade or a craft, you may want to start learning one now. Obviously, it's not going to be for your job, but for yourself, and to offer something to the group, to increase your value as a member of the preparedness group. So there's different ways to go about it. I'm going to talk about three main ways here to help you get started. The first thing I would do is to take a comprehensive personality test. These are available online. They're free if you know where to go. And I'd find the one that has the 16 subtypes. And it really narrows you down. It gives you a lot of information of why you do what you do and why you think like you think. It shows you your motivators in life, and it can indicate very heavily types of career paths and interest. And you may discover a few things that you may be interested to grow and learn more about that could increase your value as a member of your group. The next thing you can do, and this is very simple, you can do this on your own. Just start to realize and become more aware of the things you think about, the things you read, and the things you want to do when you get home from work. Or if you have a little spare time, what do you find yourself doing? Do you collect certain things? Do you like doing certain things? What kind of things do you find yourself doing when there is no one telling you to do anything, when there's no pressure and there's no agenda? And you can look at that and see if you can develop that further, because that might be a great asset to tap into, because you're already motivated to learn and to grow within. Lastly, start paying attention to what other people say that you would be good at. And not always people are going to be right on this, and I wouldn't take it all to heart. But for those people that you trust and you respect, you may want to pause and at least contemplate what they say. Because sometimes they perceive reality different than you, and they may have a good point. Even though you may not think that you could do that very well, you may be an expert, just naturally. And until you actually try it out or look into it, you may never know. So hopefully these tips will help an individual that needs to get started on self-development to increase their practical wisdom, learning on what they as an individual naturally can offer. This is something that goes well beyond physical stuff. It's not about what you can purchase and what you can bring to a location. And physical preps are very important, but physical preps are not the end-all be-all. Physical preps really are just a starting point so you can grow your skills and wisdom so that you can learn in a very dynamic and practical way how to overcome challenges. There's nothing simple about any of this to some degree, but don't make it harder than it really is. It's just life. I mean, we have to just deal with the complications as we go. Sometimes it gets confusing. Sometimes there's distractions. Just like, for example, right now, trying to make this little video. You'd be surprised of all the distractions, constant distractions, even out in the woods. And I live out in the middle of nowhere. And there's all kinds of people doing stuff. My neighbors, God bless them all. They don't probably mean to be, a problem, but sometimes they're just freaking loud. And that's how it's going to be in real life with your group. There's going to be members in your group that are going to be loud, unprepared, confused. They're not very well organized. And that's why a strong leader needs to be present to organize the group, to get people into different jobs. And they have to know their roles in their prepper group. They have to know what they're responsible for. Everyone, including the children, have to have responsibilities because everyone's accountable for the group's survival. Everyone plays a part. No one gets a vacation. And so in worst case scenarios, everybody is going to be very thankful that they know what they need to be doing, because you won't have time a lot of times during the actual event to sit around and plan, okay, I'll go get water and you do security and then you do whatever first aid on people you find that are injured in this building or whatever the disaster is. You're going to pretty much need to already have this figured out. This is something that needs to be gone over probably on a monthly basis at a minimum. So prepper groups need to get together, stay organized, review, do planning, and understand though that just doing a small amount of maintenance in terms of the structure of their group, and for people to be very clear in the directives of who they are in the group and what they're there to do, is going to go miles and miles toward productivity. As always, thanks for joining me. If you have any comments, feel free to leave it down below. If you haven't joined, feel free to do such, and thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for your support.